Today we are doing a real grounding practice and we're going to be using the floor as our feedback tool. So I want you to come down onto the mat. You're going to roll down onto your back carefully and gently bend your knees in towards your glutes. And we're just going to take a moment to mobilize here. So just drop your knees to the one side, nice rotation of the spine, and then take it to the other side. Feeling a nice stretch, some nice mobility in the back, in the hips. Just rolling through it, just coming down into our practice for today's class, because we want to feel grounded when things are overstimulating or we feel overwhelmed. We just want to come back to the ground, basically. Okay, bring your knees up towards the ceiling again. Bring your feet in towards your glutes. Now just feel where your pelvis is resting in the mat. Do you feel more weight on the one side of your pelvis than the other side? Just feel that, and then maybe try and correct it. So for me, I feel more weight on my left side than my right. So I'm just going to do a couple of pelvic tilts, just see if I can try and correct it. If I can't, that's okay, but I'm going to just try and even out the balances. So I just want you to feel that your hip bones and your pubic bone are on the same plane. You're in that neutral spine. Your pelvis is resting on the mat. Take your hands behind your head. Rest your head in your hands. On your exhale, I want you to lift up, coming into your ab core. Now notice here, did you tuck your pelvis under? Try and keep a neutral position as you come up into your ab core. So drawing the belly button to the spine, keeping that intra-abdominal pressure, creasing into the rib cage. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift up with a neutral pelvis. So we're going to be working on that pelvic stability, that mind to muscle connection, really working on good form. Feeling grounded on the mat, proper alignment. Exhale, lift up, creasing the rib cage without pressing that lower back to the mat. On your next one, hold it up here. Can you lift that right leg to tabletop without moving your pelvis, without shifting? If you need to, you can place your hands on your pelvis just to feel that everything is still. Take the left side now. Try not to shift. It's hard. We're working on that core connection, trying to get our legs to move independently from our pelvis. It's also known as hip disassociation. Okay, lifting up in that ab core. We're going to take a rest now. Stay with me. Lowering it back down. Okay, rest your head on the mat. And then we're going to come back up. And we're going to switch a bit quick. So stay in that neutral pelvis, lifting the right leg to tabletop, and then we're just going to switch. So feel your pelvis here. Are you shifting? Are you rocking? Just switching those legs, working into the lower abs, upper abs. Try and keep that neutral pelvis. Try and not move in the pelvis. Okay, last one. Take it up. Lower everything down. Taking a nice big deep breath. Rest your hands into the mat. Bring your feet in towards the glutes. Just exhale, press your hands in towards the mat. You'll notice as you do that, you're connecting to the core. So I want you to really arch through the back. So take a nice inhale, arch through the back, through that lower back. Opening up the chest, expanding through the rib cage. And on your exhale, I want you to tuck the pelvis under. We're going to mobilize the spine. So you're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra, but I want you to do this slowly. So I want you to focus one vertebra at a time as you lift up into your bridge position. Press your hands into the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to soften through the chest before you move your hips. So you're going to soften through the chest, rolling down vertebra by vertebra till you get back down to your neutral position and then past your neutral position. Inhale, expand the belly, open up the chest, arching the back. Exhale. Really complete that exhale. Inhale here, exhale, soften the chest before the hips. Follow all the way down, mobilizing the spine. Exhale. This is actually deep core work. Inhale here, exhale, rolling down. Inhale, arch the back. Coming back to neutral spine. Take your feet about mat distance apart, externally rotate them. And then we're going to hinge up with a flat back. Notice here, is your weight on your shoulders or on your neck? So I want your weight to be on your shoulders. Lowering the hips, exhale, lift. Thinking of that glute contraction as you lift and lower those hips. Making sure that the hip bones are square. Drawing the belly button to the spine. Okay, on your next one, just hold it up here. And then just dip the right hip towards the mat, lifting it up and just alternating. So we're getting into that rotation of the lumbar spine. Should feel so nice. Okay, taking both hips up, lowering down, bringing your legs together now, squeezing them. We're coming into a narrow bridge. Exhale, press into your hands, into the floor as you lift up into your bridge. Inhale, lower, exhale. Squeezing those inner thighs together. You do it so well. This is real grounding work. And it should feel good just to be present on the mat when things are busy. Just taking a moment to just clear your mind. Hold it up here. Can you place your hands on your hips? Without moving your hips, can you lift that right leg? Extending it. Take it down. Left leg, don't move through the hips. Keep that stability as you alternate. Kicking those legs out. Taking it down. Take the hips down. Roll onto your side. Coming down into the sideline position. Okay. You can bend the bottom leg. Extend the top leg long. And now just feel how your body is situated on the mat. Are you sinking your waistline in towards the mat? Take a nice big deep inhale, expanding the belly. And then on your exhale, I want you to draw that side waist away from the mat, pushing that top hip forward. Are your hips square here? Are they stacked? And then we're just going to lift and lower that top leg. So exhale as you lift. We're just moving that femur inside that hip socket, drawing the belly button to the spine, maintaining that core connection, that integrity, that alignment. Let's go for another 2. Your knee is facing forward. Last one. Now I want you to lower it. I want your knee to face now towards the ceiling as much as it possibly can. So we're coming into external rotation, just lifting and lowering. We're not opening up the hips. We're keeping the rest of the body as still as possible. Just exhaling as we lift. Inhale as we lower. Feeling that core connection. Lowering it down. Take that knee down towards the mat now, coming into internal rotation. Just lifting and lowering. We don't do enough internal rotation. And we're just getting into our hip mobility. Trying to make our body feel good, our hips feel good in a very gentle way. Okay, last one. Lowering it down, tap out that hip, and then switching sides. Okay, coming down onto my left-hand side now. Bend the bottom leg in, extend the top. Are you sinking that waistline in towards the mat? Inhale, expand the rib cage in your belly. Exhale. Pressing that top hip away. Gap between your waist and the mat. Your knees facing forward as you lift and lower that top leg. Getting into the glutes, into that hip mobility. Drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Let's go for another 2. 1. face that knee up towards the ceiling as you lift and lower. So really work on that external rotation. Let's go for another 2, 1. Knee facing downwards now, lifting and lowering. Just enjoying this moment, being on the mat, even though you're working hard. Okay, lowering it down, tap out that hip, and then we're gonna roll onto our tummies. So you can rest here on your tummy, and then bring your legs about hip distance apart, maybe slightly further, just resting on your forearms. I want you to be looking just slightly forward down at the mat so that your neck is long. Feel how your rib cage is here. You should have your bottom ribs on the mat. I want you to take a nice big inhale. Really expand the rib cage, pressing it into the mat, feeling that grounding. And then on your exhale, I want you to draw the belly button up as if you're pulling it away from the mat. Inhale, exhale, I'm sorry. What am I saying? Inhale, expand. Exhale, create that core connection. Inhale, open the belly, open the chest, rib cage into the mat. Exhale, pull it away. Okay, you're going to lower down all the way. Forehead onto the mat. You can rest your forehead on your hands. Okay, so just feel grounded here. Your body's on the mat. And then on your inhale, I want you to lift up into slight extension and your hands stay pressed towards your forehead. So a slight extension, you're still looking down towards the mat. You're using those back extensors. So here, I want you to take a nice big inhale. Now exhale, I want you to draw the belly button to the spine, lifting those abs up off the mat. You might notice as you do this, you sink a little bit further down. And that's totally okay, that's totally normal. That's why we use inhale to lift up, because naturally our spine extends as we inhale, and naturally it flexes as we exhale. So you might notice that little bit of a dip as you draw that belly button up from the mat. Okay, so inhale, lift. Exhale, draw the belly button in. Inhale, release. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, belly button lifts. Inhale, release. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Let's do another one. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, draw the belly button away from the mat. Inhale, release. Exhale, lower back down. On your next inhale, you're going to lift up into extension. You're going to exhale, you're going to rotate. So you're going to look towards the side of the room, opening up the chest towards the side, coming back to center. Exhale, the other side. So we're just alternating, getting into the rotation of the thoracic spine, which is so good if you've been sitting the whole day staring at a phone or at a computer. Coming back to center, lowering it all the way back down. Pressing up and back into a nice counter stretch. A nice shell stretch. Just taking a moment here. Expanding the belly and then drawing it back to center. Okay, coming up into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to start with our swimming prep. So I want you to connect to the core here. So you're going to exhale, lift that right hand off the mat without shifting the body. So feel that core connection. And then you're going to take it out, coming into your swimming prep. Really lengthen through that arm and the leg. Think of that opposite rib tip connection. So contralateral rib tip connection is going to help you stabilize. Extending it forward, bringing it back in. Exhale, reach, lengthen. Inhale, lower, exhale. Hold it here. Can you take the arm and leg laterally? So taking it out to the side. Stabilize here without shifting the body. How far can you take your arm and leg out before you want to fall? Taking it back to center, taking it out again, exhale, bringing it back to center. Inhale as you take it out, try and not shift too much, bring it back to center, lowering it back down. Shake up the shoulders, and we're going to go into the other side. So exhale, connect to the core, you lift that left hand off the mat without shifting. Taking that right leg back, lifting up, and then lowering it all back down. Exhale. Extend through that arm and that leg. Really find length as you take that arm and leg back. Find that core control, that core connection. And then we're going to take it out laterally. So take that arm and leg out to the side. Focus on something on the floor. You're looking down towards the floor. Taking it back to center. Exhale. Back to the midline. Last one. Coming back to center. Lowering it down. Okay. I want you to lower down onto your left forearm now. Take that right leg on a diagonal. So it is diagonally out from your body, it's extended out. And I want you to shift towards that right leg. So you're not shifting back. Naturally, we want to shift back, but I want you to fight that natural instinct because it's going to help us to connect to the core more. So I want you to draw the belly button to the spine as you try and lift that foot off the floor. Try not shift back, try and move forward towards that extended leg. Lowering it down. Exhale. Do you feel that core connection? Expand the belly. Exhale. Perfect. Bring it back in. And then just circle that leg around. Just mobilizing. Taking it in the opposite direction. Okay. Let's do the other side now. Taking that left leg out, we are on our right forearm. Okay, so that leg is out on a diagonal. Try and shift towards that leg. I want you to draw that belly button to the spine as you lift that foot up. If you can't lift that foot up, that's okay. Just as long as you feel like you are trying to lift it, you're still connecting to the core. So exhale. If you can bring your foot up all the way here without moving the rest of the body, that's also good. Let's do one more. Lowering it back down. Bring it in, and then just circle it out. Just moving freely. To change the direction, up and over. Okay, shifting back. So we're going to come into a little bit of a fascial stretch now. So tuck the toes underneath. See if you can come back onto your heels. If this is too much for you, you can come forward, or you can untuck the toes and sit back. But if you want more of a fascial stretch, getting into that ankle mobility, come and join me like this. And we're just going to do a little bit of breathing just to end the class, a little bit of grounding. So I want you to gently close your eyes. I want you to take a nice big inhale. Expanding through the rib cage, through the belly. Relaxing the shoulders. Exhale. Let all your air out. Maybe shift forward. Release your feet. If it's too much of a stretch for you, take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, I want you to hum. So humming is very, very good for our nervous system. It helps to regulate our nervous system, helps us to bring ourselves down a little bit, just to ground us. So you're going to inhale. On your exhale, you're going to hum out all your air. Seems very weird, and you might look weird doing it, and I feel weird doing it, but it's very grounding. So let's do it one more time just to finish off class. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw, open the mouth. The jaw is connected to your pelvic floor. So if you want a pelvic floor release, just relax your jaw. And then come down to seated on your mat. And that's it for today's class. I hope you have enjoyed this grounding practice and you are feeling more restored, more relaxed, ready to end your day or start your day. Thank you so much for joining me today.